It's not. That whole conversation about, oh, I'm gonna drive 150 miles per hour and we'll both.
That's manipulation to the max. Oh yeah, I'm gonna unalive us. Oh, you have more Twitch streamers than me. Your views are higher. Like, bro, chill the fuck out. Mizkif's response to Emiru's abuse allegations makes it even worse. He really said some stupid things about Emiru. He even admitted to some things that she had heavily implied. Let's get into it.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it. But I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Go crazy.
So one thing I don't understand about this whole thing right here is that Emiru allegedly had said that he was blackmailing her, and pretty much essentially gonna extort her and all the people that are around her and things of that nature. If you have all this evidence and then you're just gonna start posting it, one, why are you including everyone else into this mess? And two, you're kind of proving her point, you know?
Crazy. Who cares?
Boy, this is actually sick and disgusting. Remember that young streamer Emiru who we covered 7 days ago on this channel that got assaulted at TwitchCon? The young streamer who had her assailant come around the barricade and come up, hug her, kiss her on the neck, potentially have something in his hand to, I don't know, do something with it. I can't even honestly think of what he was gonna do with the device that he had in his hand. Yeah, that same streamer. Well, in her address,
she's had a rough month. Oh my God, the last week and a half has been horrible for her.
To Dan Clancy in the Twitch community about what happened, she said something very, very interesting. Something that had my ears kind of perk up.
But honestly, this has been a really hard year for me. Honestly, it's been a really hard 10 years. I've been carrying a lot of really heavy burdens. There's a lot of things that I haven't wanted to talk about that I think I will probably be talking about when I get home from TwitchCon.
And lo and behold, the thing that she was talking about was levying allegations of SA, domestic abuse, verbal abuse, and a bunch of other things on streamer Mizkif, her ex-boyfriend. Now, I'm gonna give a trigger warning. Some of the stuff that's about to be discussed in this video is actually kind of disgusting, and
that's actually insane. Just think about that. That's crazy. I hate people who, men who just diminish and try to make their partner just seem less than, you know what I'm saying? Whoever really less than, but especially the person that you supposedly love, you live with them, you want to make them feel special. Not worse.
It's not even kind of disgusting, it's quite disgusting. But you get to hear both her telling of the events, and because we waited long enough, we also get his telling and admittance to a lot of the things that she claims that he did in his own words. Emiru starts off this conversation by talking about how controlling and emotionally abusive Mizkif is. She talks about two different instances. One instance in which she was made to cry for hours on end based off of Mizkif's drunken rage about him being, so insecure about his viewership. Emiru had more viewers than he did, and he didn't like the way that she was streaming on one of her Q&A drunken streams. So he called / texted her and started berating her about how she was conducting herself on stream, causing her to take a brief 45-minute intermission to go off and handle this situation.
And you know what that does? That makes the viewership drop. The viewership drops. It's 45 minutes is a long time, especially in the streaming world, right? And two, if your woman is winning, you are winning too, bro. You guys can both shine. It doesn't just have to be you. All eyes on Mizkif. No, it can be both, because that makes you guys even a better team. It's a better team.
Only to come back and cry on camera.
Okay, wait, I need to walk around for a second. I'm a little bit, I think I took too many shots too quickly. I'm doing great. Okay, I'm feeling great right now.
She eating all that pizza by herself? There is no way she eats like this off camera. There's no way, bro. Her waist is tea.
So why don't we continue the Q&A for a little bit?
Now, Mizkif would claim that she was going to farm parasocial viewerships. He was claiming that she was doing sexual things to, garner a certain type of audience. He was saying that she was lifting her legs and doing something sexual with a bottle. But let me show you the clips. These are the clips that Mizkif is talking about that is garnering this audience. He's saying that this is a way for her to sexualize herself in order to... It's some weird and controlling ass shit.
Okay.
I'm turning.
Low key, this is kind of crazy though. Hold on now. Low key, this is kind of crazy.
Turned on. I don't know. In this one, you got to be a super gooner to get turned on by this. Like, I don't. Now, Mizkif goes on to address.
That second one's whatever. The first one, honestly, is really not that bad either. I was just for dramatic effect. That's really not bad at all. I just think he's just mad insecure,
These allegations that he is some sort of controlling freak. He acknowledges that he is this type of person, but I'm gonna play it and let you hear how he describes it. That way, you can make your own judgments.
I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking.
But pajamas in your house? Who can? It's your house. You're supposed to be comfortable it's supposed to be your oasis. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole. Stop talking about past relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship. But
you know what's crazy? It's the fact that he's reading off a script right now. He's legitimately reading off a script right now. So are we going to believe someone who's reading off a script who had a 60% chat GPT rating on his sincere apology? Is this who we're accepting back into the culture?
I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
Way to sell it. I ain't gonna lie, Mizkif, way to sell it. He didn't want anybody
crying in the big 2025 is nuts.
What did you say?
else to end up harming her because he wanted to be the only one to do it. This isn't the only situation of him being emotionally abusive to her.
Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to.
Over Twitch views. Lock this man up. Get him out of here, bro. Get him out of here. There's no place in the content creation and in the streaming space for someone like this.
To kill both of us.
I'm gonna say this for anybody who's dealing with any sort of relationships or situationships that they feel potentially have the signs of being toxic. Anybody that's actively punching a hole in a wall, something that doesn't damage the wall greater than the hole that you put in it, but damages you, like they're physically willing to sacrifice themselves, that person is abusive and they are willing to punch you even. The same thing with threats of violence or harming yourself. It's all kikis and ha-has until it's not. That whole conversation about, oh, I'm gonna drive 150 miles per hour and we'll both.
That's manipulation to the max. Oh yeah, I'm gonna unalive us. Oh, you have more Twitch streamers than me. Your views are higher. Like, bro, chill the fuck out, bro. Gang, chill out. It is not that serious, bro. At that point, that's when you need to go outside and touch grass. You're way too deep into this internet shit.
End up dead in this car. That is not something to play with. That's not something to take lightly. If you're hearing those types of talking points in your relationship, that's a clear indicator and sign that somebody is abusive and that you should get out. This is a bit of violence that Mizkif himself even owns up to in his response to this Emiru blasting of him.
I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say...
What? The correlation. The correlation. Bro was punching walls because she threw a plushie. Come on, dog.
I was going to kill myself during an argument. But Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening.
Based off of everything that I watched,
That's just what women say, though. Women just say that, bro, if they're, like, when they're like super stressed. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. All right, you know what I'm saying? All right. Once you're done throwing your temper tantrum, but someone is stalking her, so this is a serious situation. You're supposed to, no, baby, please, I got you. Pat her on the back, just hold her. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing. Don't say anything. Just let her feel comfortable and safe. Instead, this nigga is gonna argue with her. Don't say that. I have more Twitch viewers than you.
throughout these videos. Mizkif has a common theme of being insecure about his status and his stature in the content creator sphere. You would think somebody who is as big as him would feel like he is more of a success. But listening to Emiru talk about a time where Mizkif decided to drive 150 miles per hour again on the road, it seems as though he is always constantly questioning who he is and his place in the hierarchy of creators.
This wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did. A lot of the time, like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
And I'm always a
over a Mr. Beast video? Oh my god, bro, over a Mr. Beast video? Game, you could be on the next one. Or maybe because he knows that you're on that type of time, and no one wants to associate themselves with you. That's probably what it was, to be honest with you.
guy of pattern recognition. So when I went to do my digging for this video, it seems as though this is something that he struggled with before. Who he is and people around him surpassing him. Hell, even his ex, Maya, who the internet through this research is claiming that he also did abuse her, he showed some signs of insecurity towards her and her growing viewership when they were together.
I was terrified. I couldn't understand what was happening. My viewers were dropping, Maya's were only going up. And there was a part of me that thought that I was going to be smaller than her, and I don't know if it was my ego or what, but I couldn't take it. I felt like shit. And I was in the...
Does it not look like he's reading off a script again? Does he not look like he's reading off a script? This is a dog shit apology. I'm not going to lie to you.
phone with Austin, and then XQC, I somehow got on a call with him, and he talked to me for hours, making me feel better about it. And he did. And I genuinely, after talking to him, felt a lot better. And I don't think he even realizes what he did for me in that call, but he really did help me a lot. I was nonstop. It's all I could think about is that she was beating me as a streamer and I was going to die. But then he reminded...
This is your lady, gang. Looks like you're the method. You're method man. Every chick that you come in contact you, they start doing better and better and better and better. You should be proud of that, gang. You should be proud of that.
me that women have a cap and men just grow as streamers, and that's pretty much just fucking it.
Hey man, real classy dudes these guys are. Just stand up guys. Stand up guys. This leads us to our biggest claim in this video. This is where Emiru claims that Mizkif did two things. One, he gave her a black eye by throwing a phone at her, and two, he committed SA against her.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye. I was...
You know what's really crazy about that? Is you shouldn't be throwing nothing at your partner. You shouldn't be throwing nothing at your partner. I'm not gonna lie to you. Absolutely nothing. You have anger issues. You have anger management. You need to get that fixed. Because you're just going to bring it into the next relationship and then that person's going to hate you. And then that person's now damaged. And then the next person, you're just going to... A damaged person just damaging all these people. And you have status. So you're going to have more and more and more chicks. It doesn't matter what type of allegations come out. If it's true or if it's not. Women are still going to fuck with you because you are still popular. Because you still have money. You need to get that fixed.
Crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with, but I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot, and then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants.
What did you say?
Aggressively did it? Bro, you got issues, man. You have issues.
And I screamed, and when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, and instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
Now, I think Emiru, somebody who just came out of the TwitchCon situation where she got assaulted, knows how serious this is. Knows that she can't just levy these allegations, baselessly and aimlessly. And anybody who is a victim of SA, I'm standing with you totally. Especially after Mizkif comes and gives his explanations as to how both situations happened. I have no choice but to believe her wholeheartedly, because what he says is just hogwash and baloney.
Does he admit to it? Does he admit to it?
She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat.
How did it hit her eye?
Right here. Look at me. I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone.
And you hit her in the eye? That's what you want us to believe? Now, I don't believe that black eye story for 1 second. You're telling me that you casually tossed your phone in water bottles or whatever the case may be, and it's something that just so happened to hit her in her eye to give her a black eye? Now, let me ask you this. Why,
Yeah, I'm not believing that. Chat, y'all believing that?
why after that situation was Emiru going on live stream lying to people about how she got the black eye?
I actually had a small black eye from running into something, and no one could tell. I thought I wouldn't be able to cover it because it was really bad. What'd you run into? I was turning a corner really fast, and I hit the bottom of my eye socket on the wall.
Y'all couldn't even come up with a better excuse as to how she got the
Wow. But the thing is, this is how you know you have a down woman for you. You bruised her, bro. In the eye. That's crazy. Intentional, unintentional, regardless. That's crazy. 1, 2, she didn't want to throw you under the bus for that. That alone, you should have locked in after that. You're like, damn, she could have destroyed me right here. My career could have been finished. And she didn't do that.
damn black eye. That's abuse victim 101. Running into a doorknob or door hinge or whatever to hit her in the eye socket. And apparently it was really, really bad. She wasn't showing her face or couldn't show her face and talked about covering it up. But she got that from a phone hitting her in the face. I can't believe that for 1 second. And if that's the excuse that you're going to use for the black eye, let's hear the excuse that you used for the SA.
We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general.
No mention of the crime.
I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable.
I hate when people apologize like that. I hate when people say, I apologize for making you feel this way, but they don't actually apologize for what they did. I'm sorry that you feel this way. Bro, no, if you did me wrong, if you did me dirty, bro, then just apologize for it. Instead of all this whole other thing, right? 1, 2, the fact that he didn't apologize and he knew that he felt weird after, and you just left, bro, you're weird. You have no compassion for others. You know what I'm saying? You should have the most compassion for your woman.
me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
No mention of the crying. And again, if you were in a situation in which you thought this was the next step, advancing to the next stage, y'all were cuddling and stuff like that, especially in a time of distress, you would have no problem with having a conversation with her right after, kind of acknowledging that, hey, I read the room wrong. But you yelping and leaving in the way that you did seems as though you did something that you knew you were guilty for. If Mizkif didn't give enough bad excuses after bad excuses on this live stream, he then doubles down on what Emiru kind of alluded to at the end of her stream, and the fact that, hey, Mizkif is going to try to paint me to be some sort of a villain in this conversation. And the way that he does that is by playing the animal card, the same card that they tried to use on Hassan last week.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would...
Wait, this that 777 was crazy, but the fact that you weren't cleaning either, you weren't cleaning it either. Hey, this is your house, and you guys live together. It's a shared responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's shared responsibility. So for you to sit here and say, "Oh, well, she didn't do this in my house," bro, then you do it. Where she lacks, you pick up. That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason to be in a fucking relationship, gang. That's the whole reason to be in a relationship. That's what you have to do in a relationship. Look, I'm not even gonna start.
Clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
What? Oh.
Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits.
I think it's odd.
These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She
disgusting.
completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected.
What's that?
This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her...
You live there too. This is, first of all, this right here is disgusting. This falls on both of them, not just her. It's both of them. It's both. If you guys live under the same roof, it's both of you guys are animals.
pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
So let me get this straight. Your ultimate combatant to the essay allegations, the DV allegations, the verbal abuse allegations is the fact that Emiru was neglectful to rabbits that were also in your house and in your care. I don't think that that's like the best excuse in the world. Actually, I don't think it's an excuse at all. It's a non-excuse. It's crazy because he's trying to play this internet game that a lot of content creators try to do, in which they utilize their audience and their feelings towards a situation in order to paint somebody or someone else in a bad light. I'm gonna be quite honest with you though, gang. This is falling on deaf ears. Nobody cares about these rabbits in this situation when there are claims of SA that you admitted and acknowledged, when there are claims of DV which you gave an excuse about, and when there are claims of threats, violence, and other things. You are an insecure man, and that is a invalid excuse, full stop. Now, what Mizkif did to close out his stream is he gave a pretty eerie and ominous threat to other content creators and streamers out there that he knows personally.
I am going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And I believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated.
What was it? Pride comes before the falleth. He is done for. After this, his career is over. I mean, he's still going to make a lot of money. He probably built up a fan base, and a lot of his fan base is probably kids who are very impressionable, and they're going to see no wrong. They're actually going to believe what he's saying. Clearly, he's lying, right? And he's admitted to some of the things that Emiru has said, right? His numbers are going to dip. They're going to stay dip. No one is going to want to fuck with him anymore. That's the heart and soul of being a content creator, is collabing. That's how you get bigger and bigger and bigger, or sustain success, right? That avenue is now gone unless it's someone who is very desperate enough to actually do it, which I'm probably sure there's a bunch of people out there. But this is the fall off.
I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well, if she has them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people, of other things. I have a lot of messages that I have that I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is a time to go fucking buck wild.
So you've been sitting on these other videos and other
Someone isn't your friend if they compile evidence against you. Every time you mess up or you fuck up or have an embarrassing moment and they record it and they capture it and they save it just in case, that's not your friend, gang.
evidence of people doing SA or DV or just other disgusting stuff from your content creator and streamer friends. Got it. We hear you loud and clear. And I think that that is a bow on this specific conversation, but it opens up the present of a bigger conversation. Twitch, the community, the streamers, the content creators have problems, like real problems.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, we can't figure out which platform to
They're normal people like everyone else, and everyone has problems.
stream on, but no, these are people who are violent, and it's disgusting because in his attempt to defend himself, Mizkif is ultimately admitting that, yeah, I know that streamers commit these atrocities, I just hide them, just like other streamers do. But I tell you what, Mizkif, you go ahead and you release that information. Release that information. I want you to, because we can pack them and you up. We can pack everybody up, because there's no way that we should be
And we can give views and money.
platforming anybody who has these levels of skeletons in their closet. You honestly just don't deserve a platform. For Emiru, I'm praying for you, to be quite honest with you. Like you said, this is a hell of a year, and your assaults are getting caught on camera and getting admitted to by the people that are doing the assaults. What a hell of a time that we live in. I'm hoping and praying that Twitch does the right thing. By the time this video goes out, Mizkif should be banned if they want to stay true to what they say. But
they're not going to ban him. He makes entirely too much money for Twitch, and he probably knows people in there, and he's probably buddies with them. So he's not going to get banned, unfortunately. Twitch lies about everything pretty much. Well, on that note, let me know if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Peace.